What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video right here at Chris's MMA Universe. I just want to talk real quick about the UFC Fight Night main event tomorrow night, which is Pedro Munoz versus Frankie Edgar. This fight is actually very, very exciting due to the fact that Frankie Edgar is finally having his UFC bantamweight debut. He's actually finally coming down to 135 pounds to face Pedro Munoz. I mean, a very dangerous Pedro Munoz. But before I even get into that, this, I believe, is Frankie Edgar's proper weight class. I believe this is his real weight class, the weight class he should have been fighting at for a very long time now. I believe this is his proper weight class, even though he has fight the who's who in two higher weight classes, on featherweight and lightweight, and was the lightweight champion years ago. So for him to come down to 135, I believe that Frankie could do great at 135. However, it's the age aspect of it all. Pedro Munoz right now is 33 years old. Frankie Edgar is 38 years old. This makes it a little scary for Frankie Edgar and Frankie Edgar fans because Frankie Edgar's chin is not what it once was. He does not have the same chin anymore. And even though Pedro Munoz isn't the most technical striker, he does have power in his hands. And if he catches Frankie Edgar on the chin, Frankie Edgar can go down. It's very, very likely that that can happen. Now, however, Pedro Munoz, I believe, now, a lot of people forget that Frankie Edgar actually fought Uriah Faber. And Uriah Faber fought in the 135-pound weight class forever, right? So, now, I believe that I would say Uriah Faber is better all around than Pedro Munoz, even though Pedro Munoz has better leg kicks than Uriah Faber, but who's better than catching leg kicks than Frankie Edgar? So, I mean, he actually caught the leg kicks of Jose Aldo. No one has been able to do that to Jose Aldo, and took down Jose Aldo twice in a single fight. So, to be able to actually go up against Pedro Munoz, I don't believe it'll be scary for Frankie Edgar. However, the first two rounds would kind of have me a little bit worried for Frankie Edgar because, like I said, his chin is not what it once was. It's not what it was before. So if Frankie Edgar does get caught early in the first round or even the second round, I believe that Frankie Edgar could get dropped by Pedro Munoz. But I believe that Frankie Edgar would be able to, because I would say Frankie Edgar is like one of the best anti-wrestlers in the sport. You know, he doesn't really have to use his wrestling so much, but he has that. So he has the wrestling threat. Now, I know Pedro Munoz is very scary and tricky on the ground, but I believe that his wrestling will be able to overpower Pedro Munoz if it goes into the later rounds. I believe Frankie Edgar would be able to beat Pedro Munoz if it goes into round 3, 4, 5. I believe that he'll be able to actually ground and pound and grind out the decision. The reason why I say that is because the other thing is Pedro Munoz has never gone 5 rounds. He has never gone 5 rounds. Frankie Edgar has an endless gas tank, and he has gone 5 rounds so many times in the UFC. So, for them to go at it, I believe Pedro Munoz will be able to get the knockout on Frankie Edgar and actually be able to finish Frankie Edgar if it happens in the first round or the second round. Either the first or second round is going to have to, Frankie Edgar is really going to have to weather the storm if Pedro Munoz is coming after him. So, I know Frankie Edgar is not one to just stand there. He likes to move around a lot. He's very, very slicky. He mixes up his combinations great as well. Frankie Edgar is probably the best in the sport on the roster, even to this day, on mixing up boxing with his wrestling. He mixes it up very, very well. So I believe if Pedro Munoz does not get it done in round 1 or 2 to Frankie Edgar will be able to take him down, ground and pound, and actually that brings to my prediction where I believe if it goes into the later rounds, Frankie Edgar will be able to grind out a decision against Pedro Munoz if Pedro Munoz does not get it done in round 1 or 2. So I'm really excited for this fight. This fight happens tomorrow night, UFC Fight Night main event. I really want to know what you guys think is also happening at the UFC Apex. So I'm really looking forward to reading your comments. I really want to know what you guys think is going to win this fight and how. Make sure to hit the like. Make sure to subscribe. Please subscribe. And I'll see all you guys in the next one. Stay safe.